So, magkano mo ba dapat ibenta yung bahay mo? Or for some, para kumita ka. So, magkano ba yung tama or appropriate na price? So, meron akong friend na plano ibenta yung kanyang bahay or yung kanyang share dun sa minana nila na lupain. Pero yung iba niyang kamag-anak, mga tiyuhin, may kanya-kanya silang opinyon kung magkano ba yung kailangan lang na presyo. Kasi yung iba ang sinasabi, kung nabili ang bahay noong 1978 ng sabihin natin 1,000 pesos, dapat mabenta lang yon, halimbawa ngayong 2025, hindi daw tamang presyo ang 3 million pesos. Itong property na mini-mention ko, this is a 400 square meter lot. And residential na rin yung classification nito. May ibang mga tao na hindi nabebenta yung kanilang bahay kasi hindi nila mapresyohan ng tama. Pwedeng sobrang mahal, pero kitang-kita naman yung bahay na depreciated na and marami ng sira. Meron din naman other factors na kailangan i-consider. Halimbawa, yung mga tao, hindi naman kailangan ng bagong matitirahan. Or may kanya-kanya silang preferences. So dito sa topic natin, hindi naman natin i-discuss yung mga properties for sale na mga developers engaged in real estate business. Magfo-focus lang tayo dun sa mga individual sellers na binibenta yung kanilang old house or refurbished house. So bibigyan ko muna kayo ng free sources kung saan tayo magkakaroon ng idea magkano ba yung presyo ng ating property. So tapusin nyo tong video kasi later magsishare ako ng Supreme Court ruling about dito sa mga pagpepresyo ng property. So first is the zonal valuation. Makikita nyo yan sa website ng BIR at bir.gov.ph. So doon, pag open nyo ng file, hanapin nyo lang yung barangay and yung city and if applicable, yung subdivision kung saan located yung inyong property. So, nandun naman yung presyo pero per square meter yung nakalagay doon na price. Halimbawa, 2,000 pesos per square meter. Ang gagawin nyo lang dyan, kung 500 square meters yung lupain nyo, so multiply nyo lang. So, 2,000 multiplied by 500 square meters. Another free source is check nyo yung other websites. Check mo yung listing sa nearby areas or other similar properties in your community. Basta comparable, halimbawa 2 floors. O kaya naman yung bahay mo is refurbished or semi-refurbished or brand new. Other sources na may bayad, first, which I find to be reliable, ay yung mga appraisers. Yung mga accredited ng bangko. Meron ding appraisers na independent. So, these appraisers consider a lot of factors. Halimbawa, yung mga kapitbahay mo, yung presyo ng kanilang mga properties, or yung other neighborhood or other subdivisions. Tapos yung development dun sa area. Halimbawa, may tinayo na bagong mall. So, syempre, nakaka-apekto yan sa pagtaas ng lupa. And ito pa yung maganda dyan na na-discover ko din nung ako'y nagpapa-appraise pa ng property. Yung akala ko na 3 million pesos lang yung property na yun, nagulat na lang ako na 8 million pesos na pala siya. So another source na may bayad, which is also reliable kasi issued by the assessor's office. Ito yung tax declaration. So nakalagay dyan yung market value. May tax declaration for the house, meron ding tax declaration for the lot. But of course, hindi lang naman itong market value yung kailangan nating i-consider. Consider mo yung sa zonal value kasi pwedeng alin dyan yung mas mataas. And yun nga, yung appraisal ng iyong property. So interestingly, merong new Supreme Court ruling. This is City Government of Pasay versus Arellano University. So this is just a May 7, 2025 case. Pero itong case na to, this is about expropriation. Pero we can be guided by the ruling of the Supreme Court. So very simple lang naman yung facts itong case na to. Si Arellano University kasi, nag-file sa korte claiming that the Pasay government took its 805 square meter property, which is Barangay San Isidro, ngayon Menlo na siya, Menlo Street, without going through the proper expropriation proceedings. So hanggang itong parties na to nag-agree na i-refer sa Board of Commissioners yung pagdetermine nitong kung magkano ba itong property na to. But itong Board of Commissioners were made up of Pasay government officials. So the Board of Commissioners, ang ginamit nilang base value is 200 pesos per square meter. And ang kanilang basihan is the 1978 General Revision of the City Assessor's Office. At nag-add lang sila ng 6% annual interest from 1978. So, ang value ay 2,060 o ni-round off nila yan 2,060 pesos per square meter. So, i-multiply mo yan ng 805 square meters. So, syempre, si Arellano University disagreed kasi nga, syempre, nababa o kaya hindi accurate yung value na pinopropose ng Pasay LGU. So, ang argument ng Arellano University is dapat yung rates na ini-issue ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So, ang kanilang counter-proposal is 5.7 million. So, ito ngayon, si Korte, ang inadapt niya is yung commissioner's base value but applied a different interest rate. So, ang sabi ni RTC, si Pasay government daw needs to pay 161,000 pesos plus 12% annual interest from 1978 to 2018. So hanggang yung kaso na yan nakarating sa Supreme Court. Ang sabi ni Supreme Court, yung decision daw ni RTC was based on incomplete data. So pakinggan natin itong mga guidelines ng Supreme Court kasi for me, applicable naman to dito sa bentahan ng property. Although this is not expropriation. Magkaiba kasi. Ang sabi dito, the Supreme Court clarified that although local government assessors provide appraisals, these are not controlling in expropriation cases. Yung mga appraisals daw na yun ay broad or malawak and do not account for specific property differences. So they rely on general descriptions and may be inaccurate. And while tax values can serve as a guideline, katulad ng zonal value na diniscuss natin kanina and yung sa tax declaration, they cannot substitute for a comprehensive assessment of just compensation. The courts must use a totality of circumstances approach, considering all the facts about the property's condition, surroundings, existing improvements, and capabilities. These include the zonal valuation of the BIR, acquisition cost, tax declarations, size, shape, location, and the current value of similar properties. So, isa pang basihan is the 2006 Manual on Real Property Appraisal and Assessment Operations. So, nakalista dito, ano-ano ba yung kailangang i-consider, like yung the classification and use of the property, development cost for improving the land, declared value by the owner, current selling price of similar nearby properties, and compensation for removing improvements. So in this case, the RTC only relied on Pasay City Assessor's 1978 assessment. So yun nga, sabi ng Supreme Court, incomplete and inaccurate data. So based on the guidelines mentioned in the decision, for me, same lang din yan. I-consider nyo yan when you are selling your house. So, that's it for today's topic. Kahit sobrang inclinong topic natin, sana marami kayong natutunan. Please like this video, share this with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and do not forget to hit that notification bell icon para ma-notify kayo ng mga next videos ko na i-upload. Thank you very much.